Okay, my guys. As you know, modern technology is not so modern sometimes, so we're ironing all this out.
I know.
Mr. Nimoy, we're going to get at you really, really soon, but... Can you say a few words if you can hear us, Mr. Nimoy?
Can you hear me now? No.
It's still coming out like that. So anyway, while we get that ironed out, he's looking pretty good, isn't he? Yeah. Looks good. Yeah, we'll figure out who to do it. He can still hear you. He can still, he's just trying to get it so you can hear him.
Okay.
So so-called Little Stepchildren. And on a Friday, the producer said to me, on Monday, we need Spock to sing a song. And so what kind of a song are you thinking about? I said, well, it has to be of a period, sort of kind of Elizabethan. Was there something you can think of that you would do? And I said, well, let me think about it over the weekend. This was on Friday. And on Saturday and Sunday, I wrote that song, Maiden Wine, and performed it on camera. It's in the episode. We shot on Monday, September 16th or something like that. And that it was subsequently in one of my albums that we produced in the late 60s. It's called Maiden Wine, and that was in the episode called Little Stepchildren. I want to talk about a couple of things. We're not taking a lot of questions, of course, but I want to talk about a couple of things before the time gets away from us. Many of you probably know that I have a Twitter account. And my Twitter name is the real Nimoy. And I also have a Twitter, and I also have a website that my own daughter, Danny, runs. This is my how I went through. So, my grandmother Danny runs this website, this shop, and it is www.shoplrap.com, where she offers things like these T-shirts and other Spock stuff. But the reason I bring up the Twitter now is because I've been twittering about my lung condition. Some of you, if not all of you, have probably heard by now that I do have a lung condition, and it's called COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And I have it because, although I quit smoking many years ago, I quit smoking in the mid-80s, about 30 years ago, I did lung damage. I did damage to my lungs during the years that I smoked. So I have been tweeting to people to quit smoking if you are smoking, and don't stop, because every time you light a cigarette, take a drag, and you're filling cells in your lungs. And I'm paying the price for that now. I'm fine sitting here talking to you, but if I have to get up and rush across the room, I was kind of private about this for a while, and one day I started using wheelchairs in airports because they walk from the entrance of the airport to the gate. Sometimes a long walk and I would get out of breath. So we started using wheelchairs to get there. And one day in New York a few months ago, I was coming back from somewhere and in the wheelchair, and somebody caught a picture of me in the wheelchair and published it. It was out on the internet, and suddenly this was interesting information for a lot of people. So I thought, let's tell the world about what this is all about. And I did an interview on CNN with Piers Morgan, talking about the fact that I had been a smoker, and that's why I had this lung condition. And I've been on a campaign to try to get people to not stop smoking. If you are smoking, please quit. Nicotine is a poison, and it's very addictive, very addictive. It's very, very hard to quit smoking. I had to do it a couple times. The first time I quit, I felt wonderful and free, and I thought, I can handle this now. And I took a drag on somebody else's cigarette, and next thing I knew, I was buying cartons again in a few days. So it got over it, and it's tough to beat it, but I finally did. I quit over 30 years ago, but the damage was done, and I'm paying the price for that now. The other thing that I've been tweeting about is bullying. I think it's a terrible, terrible experience to go through. One is being bullied. I have been bullied. I was bullied as a kid occasionally. I was not exactly a fighter, a track star, a football player. I guess you could have called me a nerd. And I was private for bullying. I know what it feels like. And I've been a target for bullying in the motion picture industry. There are people around who will try to impose themselves on you, to force you to do things that you don't want to do, through coercion or intimidation, and it's a terrible experience. Fortunately, I've been able to stand up to it because I have the position and the support to stand up to it and not be undone by it. Some people are badly injured by it. If you see somebody being injured, I tell you about this. I say, be a friend. Step up and try to be helpful and try to relieve the situation in some way that possibly can. It's a sad experience for people that have to go through, and you can do something to stop it. It's a wonderful thing. It's great to be with you today, and it's been many, many years since I've been to Tampa. I have been there, but it's been many, many years. I've been all over the state of Florida, all over the United States as well, but Florida, yes, quite a bit. And I'm here in my home in Los Angeles, and it's magical to be able to see you. You can see me, and we can talk to each other. It's just a wonderful thing. So, what's on your mind? Let me hear you ask some questions, and we'll start some conversation.
How are you, sir? We have our first question. Trudy, why don't you come on up? Say hello to Mr. Nimoy here.
Hello, Mr. Nimoy.
Hello.
I had to write down my question because I was going to forget it if I came up here. But I wanted to know, I know that Shekinah was published in 2002, but I wanted to know how long it took for you to find just the right women to photograph so that the message you wanted to express would be conveyed to everyone.
Okay, thank you. The Shekinah book took some time to develop. I think there are at least a half dozen different models in the book. I think I photographed them over a period of about 2 or 3 years. Some were photographed here in this home where I'm sitting right now. I have a studio upstairs. Some were photographed at our house at Lake Tahoe. I had a studio up there. I'll talk about Lake Tahoe in just a moment. And some were photographed in a studio in New York City. The lady that's on the cover was a Brazilian model who I found in New York City. She was a wonderful model and a terrific lady. And I think she really captured the sense of what we were after with that book. Thank you for the question. Thank you very much.
And that is my favorite.
Thank you. I just want to mention briefly the house in Lake Tahoe. We've had homes in Lake Tahoe for many, many years. And this particular home, which was a prize of ours that we enjoyed and loved so much, I had to give it up because Lake Tahoe was up at about close to 6,000 feet elevation. And my breathing at that elevation is pretty bad, so we had to give it up. In fact, we just sold the house about 3 or 4 weeks ago, after 21 years of that particular house. That's another price that I paid for the smoking that I did many years ago. Okay, let's take another question.
Well, I was going to say, actually, immediately after this discussion with you, we're having an auction. So if we can start off the bidding for your house. I'm sure there's enough takers here in the audience who want to do that. So it's starting already. Okay, let me stop it and go on to the next one. Come on.
Now, this house I'm going to keep. This. Is that a Chris Pickup?
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
My question is, what brings you the most joy?
Oh, wow. That's easy. I consider myself a retired person. I'm not accepting any work. I do get calls regularly to do this or go here or go there. I'm doing very, very little of that, if any. My greatest joy is my family. I have a great... I have a wife who I adore. We were married in this home where I am right now. And I have my 2 children, and she has a wonderful son named Aaron. And Aaron is the reason that I did the Bruno Mars video, because Aaron is a record at Atlantic Records, and he was the person who brought Bruno Mars to the Atlantic Records label and got him signed. And when Bruno wanted to do this video, he asked Aaron if Aaron could get me to do it, and I said yes in a heartbeat. We had a lot of fun doing that. So we have these, between us, 3 wonderful people, Julie, Adam, and Aaron, and we have 6 grandchildren and a great-grandson.
Wow.
Great family, which is a great joy to have. I just revel in it every day. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have David. Go ahead, David. Say hello, Mr. Nimoy there.
Hello, Mr. Nimoy.
Hi.
Thank you very much. First off, I'd like to thank you for all your work. Anyway, we'll move on. I'm talking about Star Trek Wrath of Khan, your death scene there, and I was wondering if you'd seen the new Star Trek movie Into Darkness, where they replicated that scene, and how you thought that those scenes compared to each other.
Yes, I did see the movie. I think that J.J. Abrams has done a remarkable job with the Star Trek franchise. He has opened it up in a way that invites an awful lot of people who never were in touch with or interested in Star Trek. And Star Trek has now achieved a much, much bigger audience than it ever did. I saw the replication of that scene. I was a little nervous about it, frankly. I thought, oh, where is this going to go? And does this really make sense? I'm very, very emotional about the original filming of the scene that we did, Shatner and I. I'm very emotional about it because I really thought that was going to be the end of me and the Spock character in Star Trek. It turned out otherwise, which I was very happy about later in the lead. When we did it, it was a very sad day on the set for me. I was very unhappy about what we were doing. But I think they've done a great job with the new movies. I think J.J.'s done a great job, and I expect he's going to. This is amazing. This young man is now, as you know, doing Star Wars and Star Trek, so we'll see where that goes. I wish him luck. It's a tremendous undertaking. Yes, sir.
Hi, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Nimoy. It's an honor to meet you. I love all your work in acting, narration. You've been a big influence on me. My question has to do with the genre of sci-fi. The thing I love most about Star Trek is its optimism about the future, about humanity. But so much of the new sci-fi is very bleak and pessimistic, almost apocalyptic view. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I agree with you. I agree. So much of the science fiction being done today is about destruction and desolation, and I agree with you. There's no question that one of the major reasons that Star Trek was always successful was because of a hopeful future, and this group of people, this team, going out into space and deep space to solve problems and make things better wherever we went. We try to make things better. We have now a kind of a bleak atmosphere in science fiction, and I don't enjoy it. I'd much rather see Star Trek. Thank you.
Hi, this is Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Mr. Nimoy. I'd just like to say
Hi.
it's an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
Did you have any mixed feelings about reprising your role as Spock in the new movies?
No, I did not have mixed feelings. I was delighted when they even contacted me and asked me to come for a meeting. I was immediately interested, and when I had my conversation with him and his writers, and I got the sense that they really had a good feeling about Star Trek, and particularly a wonderful feeling about what the Spock character was all about and how to use me. I was delighted to do it. It was very exciting to be there, and I'm so happy we were able to get that done. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thanks, Ashley. All right, next up, this is Haley.
Hi, Mr. Nimoy.
Hi.
Hi, it's an honor to meet you. You did
Thank
a great
you.
job in Star Trek. I love Spock so much. So, my question to you is...
What do you do? Who are you? I see you're a member of the crew. What's your job?
If I were on the crew, I would like to be a tactical officer.
Okay, I'll see what we can do about that.
And my question for you is, I attended the Star Trek Las Vegas convention back in 2013, and I listened to some of your co-workers, and I learned that they aren't really fond of William Shatner. So
You had to go there.
how your relationship is with Mr. Shatner, and if there was any bumps in the road along the way.
convention in Las Vegas, I think about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I was just around the time that I decided we would no longer do convention appearances, and I haven't seen him since. We used to see each other occasionally. We saw each other for dinner once in a while, he and his wife, and me and my wife. We tried to get together periodically to have a dinner and have a conversation. And of course, we saw each other often at conventions, and we always enjoyed working together on stage, which was kind of fun. But I haven't seen him in a long time and haven't had any contact. I'm sorry to hear people saying nasty things. Back in the 60s.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Kristen, right? Hello, come close.
Hello?
She's shaking.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, you have a red shirt on. That's kind of dangerous, you know. You know the tradition, the people with the red shirts go first and get killed.
Okay, while watching
Yes.
the original series, I've seen almost all the episodes by now, but there's always one thing I've always wondered. Was it ever really hard to keep that straight face on the set?
Yeah, it was hard at times. But, you know, it was a hard work. We typically shot about 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. I was there from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night, 5 days a week, and it was hard work. And every once in a while, you have to have some fun. So if something struck us funny, we would break up and do a lot of laughing. There are a lot of photographs around that you can find on the internet, I'm sure, of us breaking up and laughing about this or that. There have been blooper reels around for many years showing us breaking up and laughing. So yes, at times it was hard to keep a straight face, but you gotta get the work done. That's what you're paid for. So we have an assistant who used to say, "Okay, now let's bring it up, bring it up." He's trying to get the work. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. Hi. Next up is Sandy. Hello. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Nimoy. It's an honor to meet you. Did you offer J.J. Abrams any advice? You're such a great director yourself, and I was just wondering about that.
No, I don't think it's fair to be imposing your ideas on somebody else's work unless they ask you a specific question. He's a very, very talented and imaginative guy, and I did not offer him any advice. But I offered advice exactly quicker, because a wonderful actor. We had Jeff, very good friends. We spend a lot of time together. We see him regularly whenever we can. We saw him in New York a few months ago when he was on Broadway acting in The Glass Menagerie, and he's in Germany filming now, and we will be seeing him again next month when my wife Susan and I are in New York, and he's back from filming. And we've had conversations, but not about giving advice. I'm never saying do this or do that, or don't do this or don't do that. But just general conversations about Star Trek and about the Spock characters. We've had some good conversations about that. What is it?
Thank you so much.
What's your name?
Sandy.
Sandy. Sandy.
Fanny?
Sandy.
Sam? Oh, okay.
All right, now this next gentleman, young lady's name is Gabby. Lucia.
I think your words that you said earlier about bullying, that was really, really great. And I was wondering if there was any significance to the trains behind you?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The train was a present that my wife gave me. I told her many years ago that when I was a kid, we lived in a small apartment and there was no room to put in a train layout. Not that we could even afford it. I wanted an electric train really bad. I never had one as a kid. And when I told her that, she decided she was going to do this for me. So she surprised me about 15 years ago by having some people come and install this train system in my house. And I play engineer every once in a while to get the train going.
All right, this is Joe.
Mr. Nimoy, thanks for being with us today. I think it's generally accepted that that Star Trek movie franchise was at its very best when you were in creative control. Was it difficult after Star Trek 4 to turn the reins over to Shatner and then watch Star Trek 5 kind of not get
Don't go there.
Little man was not here to defend himself. I did, as you know, directed two of the films. I directed 3 and 4, and had a wonderful time doing it. And then it was Bill's turn. I was not happy with the script that was developed for him. I told him so. I said, I think you've got a problem with the script. Bill has, as all of you probably know, a tremendous amount of energy, a tremendous amount of optimism, and he felt that with a certain kind of attack on the directing, that he could make this picture work. And I was not surprised that it was not a terrific movie. So be it. He had been always an extremely energetic, hard-working guy. He's done a couple of Star Trek documentaries since then, but I think have been quite good. I haven't seen all the work he's done. He's certainly made a name for himself on the talk show circuit and out in the world. In a show called, I think it's called The Shatner's World. We just live in it. I don't live there, but a lot of people do, I guess. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. We'll be back and do fixing Star Trek 6. We appreciate it.
All right, and this is Stephanie, and I'm pretty sure.
I'll tell you a story.
Go ahead.
Don't go away. Bill, Shatner was always fond of playing practical jokes on people. And Guy Kelly, wonderful guy, DeForest Kelly, played Dr. McCoy, of course. Wonderful, sweet man. He had a habit of coming in every morning to soundstage. He would go right to what we call the craft service table with his coffee and donuts and stuff like that. And he would cut himself a bagel in half and put it in the toaster. And then when the toaster popped, he would butter it with either butter or peanut butter, and then have that with coffee, and that was kind of his morning ritual. So one morning, Mr. Shatner served a muffin in the toaster, and he got somebody to attract Dee's attention, so he walked away for a few seconds. And while he walked away, Mr. Shatner popped the muffins out of the toaster and took them away. And he came back and looked at the toaster with this strange look in his face, like, didn't I put a muffin in there? And it's gone. So he did again, he cut a muffin, put it in the toaster, same thing, and again, Shatner had somebody Shatner popped the toaster and took the muffins away. And finally, he realized what was happening, and he got very angry about it. I said, I've been there about it. If anybody stands you and Mr. Shatner side by side, it's easy to tell who's been eating the muffins.
Mr. Nimoy, this is Mick.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
folks, I'm not doing this gentleman.
Yeah, we know you noticed. Did you get the question?
What was your favorite memory with the Forest Kelly?
My favorite memory of it?
With DeForest Kelly. Your favorite memory with DeForest Kelly?
Of the Forest Kelly.
Correct.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever I think of him, I feel a room in my heart. He was a wonderful, wonderful man, a great friend. If there ever was a problem that I had on the set with whatever the situation was, I was talking about. He was a fine gentleman. He'd been around. He knew how to deal with the situation in a very calm and kindly way. He was a dear friend. I miss him terribly. He was a wonderful, wonderful friend. Thank you for that.
This is Tyler.
Hi.
Good morning, Mr. Nimoy.
Hello.
Due to your environmental contributions, what do you think about how SeaWorld treats their orcas?
What do you think about that?
SeaWorld and how they treat their orcas and their cruelty. What's your ecological background on what's the voyage home and all? What is your take on how SeaWorld treats their orcas?
What is my take on how Blue treats their women?
What is your... He's asking, what is your take on how SeaWorld treats their orcas? I got it. That's a tragic story about what happened to that young woman. She was in a very dangerous job, and unfortunately, the percentages caught up with her. Look, those creatures, I'm not an expert on the subject, but I imagine you're asking because I did the movie about the humpback whales, which consumed me a lot at the time, and I think we accomplished something because the humpback whale population is back to where it was originally before they started being slaughtered, and so because of what I have seen those shows. I have been amazed at the things that those whales can be trained to do with human trainers, but I'm not comfortable with the idea of them being penned up and caged the way they are. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't think it's decent or proper. It's not the right thing to do. It's commercially successful, it's fun, it's exciting to watch, it's entertaining. But those creatures were not put on this earth to entertain us. I don't feel good about it. Okay, this is Rocket.
Hi, Leonard.
Is that a very large triple you got there? That's a big one. Wow. That's the granddaddy of all triples. That triple could really give you trouble.
I was just wondering, your character Spock, he was very interesting, had a lot of different qualities. I was wondering how much of Spock you see in yourself now, like how much of that character you see in yourself.
Okay, slow down and we're having a little bit of transmission trouble. You're wondering what about me and Spock?
Yeah, I was wondering what qualities of Spock did you see in yourself?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I think Spock was obviously a person of great intelligence, highly educated, very sensitive, a very attractive person, a talented friend, and terribly humble, and that's me.
Hi there, my name is Robert Thompson.
Hello, Robert.
Hi.
novels that write about Kirk and Spock and the original crew.
How do I feel about the novels?
Yeah. Correct. Yes.
The most honest and simple answer to give that I can give you is I haven't read them. I don't read the Star Trek novels. I do watch occasionally when I'm surfing on television with nothing in particular that I'm looking for, and I come across a Star Trek episode. I will watch occasionally, at least some of it, if not all, to get a sense of how it holds up now. And I'm talking about the original series. How does it hold up now as I sit here and look at it and see if it really makes sense and see if it really has the quality for me today that it had in the 1960s and 70s and 80s and so forth. But I do not read the novels. I'm not a great fiction reader. I do watch fiction on television, of course. But my reading tends to be more biographies and memoirs and factual stuff. I want to learn something from what I read, and novels don't give me the information that I want. I'm more a documentarian in that sense. I read about people's lives, but so passionate about people's lives. So I'm interested in reading good biographies and memoirs. That question. Thank you.
All right, thanks. This is Matt.
Pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Nimoy.
Thank you.
I have greatly enjoyed your discussions on your Hebrew background and just growing up in a Jewish culture. I'm very interested in that academically, and I just have to ask, have you ever studied the New Testament?
No. I'm not a biblical scholar. Either Hebrew or Judaism or Christianity. I'm not a biblical person. My Jewish background is more cultural than it is religious, frankly. I've been to temple many times, and I've sat through services many times in various places. I was bar mitzvah when I was 13 years old. Went through that ritual. So my background in Judaism is more cultural than it is religious. And I have not done a lot of reading in either the original Old New Testament, even though. But thank you for the question. By the way, there's a half-hour documentary that my son Adam has just produced. We went to Boston together, my hometown, he and I, and we spent several days walking around and me pointing out and explaining to him about various activities that I was involved in as a kid, as a teenager in Boston. And that particular documentary will be running on a Boston TV station on May 22nd. For those of you who happen to be in Boston on May 22nd, have somebody that you know in Boston, you might want to tell them on WHBH in Boston on May 22nd. And in there I do talk about some of my Jewish origins in that particular neighborhood where I grew up. Thank you for the question.
All right, thank you, sir.
Hello, my name is Marilee Owens.
Hello.
I wanted to personally thank you for inspiring me to go into computer science over 35 years ago. And I got a job working on the space shuttle program back in the early 80s, and some of the most exciting time of my life. Yeah, computer science was such an infancy at the time, and it was amazing how backwards we were at that time. But my question for you, I guess, is, well, it's still another thank you for inspiring my son and so many generations to go into science, and for minorities to go into science. And I just really
sure that it's in great running condition. I'm going to try, okay? How my engineering is doing today. Sometimes I have to give it a little help, but I'll give it a try. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. Wait, it'll come around.
Don't go away. Don't go away, don't go away. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Very cool.
Leonard, do you have a little conductor hat that you put on there?
All right. We had a successful run. Stay with me. Backyard. Stay with me.
Just don't go into the bathroom, please.
He's going outside.
My backyard.
Nice.
We have a tea house out back there where my wife Susan does yoga up there. Okay.
Cool.
See, this is something you could not experience if I were in Tampa.
White belt. Yay! Yay!
Okay. We're back. Can you see me? I dropped my iPad.
He's getting out for it. Up.
Okay.
Freeze frame. There we go.
Oh, here we are. Hi.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning. You did a movie in the 1980s called Never Forget. What inspired you to make that movie?
Well, thank you. That's interesting. The story, for those of you who don't know, a gentleman who lives here in Southern California was living with his family in Czechoslovakia, and that family were arrested by the Nazis and taken to Auschwitz, a concentration camp. And when the war was over, he came out, he was still a teenager, I think about 18 or 19 years old. And he was the only one who came out alive. He lost his siblings, a couple of sisters, he lost his parents. And some time ago, there was an organization that was campaigning on the idea So this gentleman, whose family had been murdered, wrote letters about them, and they challenged him to come to a tribunal of their choosing to prove, if he could, that Jews were gassed by the Nazis during the Second World War. And they offered a $50,000 reward. But they would choose the judges, and they would judge his testimony. He was advised not to get involved with these people because they simply wanted to ridicule him and get some press. And he finally filed a lawsuit against them, and he won that lawsuit in court, in Los Angeles Superior Court, in 1979. I thought it was a heroic thing that he did because he was taking on a tough situation, and he took it on his own without much help. And I decided to produce a film about him, and I portrayed him in the film, never forget. And the amazing judicial fact was that as a result of his case, the Holocaust went into American law as a legal fact for the very first time in 1979. It was over in 45. So it was 34 years after the end of the war when his case went into American jurisprudence to establish the fact that it was a legal fact that Jews were gassed by the Nazis during the Second World War. His name was Noam Rubinstein, and I portrayed him and I produced the film. Thank you for your questions. So I never forget. Thank you. the shuttle crew? Yeah, okay. What's your question, Kyle?
What was your favorite part in Star Trek?
My favorite part was Mr. Spock. I just mentioned two of my favorite movies were Star Trek 2 and 3, and two of my favorite episodes were City on the Edge of Forever, A Mock Time, This Side of Paradise, so many, we did a lot of good stuff. Have you seen a lot of Star Trek?
Yep.
Have you? Yeah. Yeah. You watched with your family? Don't go very far. Who's that, like your dad?
Yeah, hi.
I'm
sorry. Listen, Leonard, I just want to tell you something. This is an example of the next generation that you influence.
Yes!
Just a quick statement, Leonard, listen, you influenced me when I was growing up. I took all the physics, chemistry, the calculus, the DE, the materials, and I went on to have a successful career at NASA. First with the shuttle, and now with robotic mining, and I'm passing those traits and the traits of the character you created that we all love to my son.
Oh, that was awesome. Incredible. Hi. Oh, there.
He doesn't need a chair.
That's one. Okay. Oh, hello, Mr.
Hi.
Leonard, this is going to be your last question for the day. So,
Okay.
maybe we can get that. So here's your last question, and we'll say our goodbyes to you.
No pressure.
Mr. Nimoy, my name is Leonard Fleming. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been a pleasure listening to you on this. You are very delightful and funny. Why don't we have some comedy roles with you?
Yeah, well, it's true that I'm not really widely known for doing comedy, although I did a lot. I've toured all over the United States on various plays and musicals, doing musical comedy and doing comedies on stage, and I've had a great time doing it. I always enjoy doing comedy. But actors do get typecast. It does happen. And it's rare that people would think of me for comic relief. That doesn't happen very often. It did not happen very often in my career. But I do enjoy having a good time just like anybody else. Thank you for the question. Thank you. I'm deeply touched that you come and do this with me electronically. I appreciate you being there. It's a great treat for me to know that we can meet this way. I can see you all now. You're all very handsome and good looking.